Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. Tonight was Monday Night Raw, the final big show before WrestleMania. And what do you know? Honestly, in my opinion, I had a good, long, fun time watching the show. I enjoyed all 3 hours. There was only one point when they went to commercial during the Jericho versus Cesaro match. When during the commercial, I forgot what I was doing, and I forgot why I was sitting there watching TV, and that point when you're like, am I supposed to change the channel, or what was I watching is something that I want to watch. I know everybody's been there once before in their life, um, but honestly, in my opinion, I thought it was a good show. Uh, I don't think it did anything to make you want to buy the pay-per-view on Sunday, especially for the price that it's going to be. Um, they seem like they kept everybody away from each other except for Van Dango and Jericho, and Punk and Taker at the end of the show. Um, some guys came close, but honestly, in my opinion, it wasn't close enough. I sent in my first tout ever to Monday Night Raw trying to get on the show, and honestly, I wasted 15 seconds of my life. I don't know. I felt pretty dumb after they didn't show it on Raw, but I'm sure a lot of people like me have done it, and I'm sure it won't be the last time I'll try to get on the show. I just want to have that mark out moment, like, oh, there's me. The show kicked off tonight with none other than John Cena coming down to the ring. John Cena gave his normal promo. I'm going to beat The Rock because my last year has been the shits. And this is going to put the capital letters on there. It was the first time I've heard him mention that the WWE Championship was on the line. All the other promos have mainly been I'm gonna beat The Rock. I'm gonna beat The Rock. And this time is the first time he ever put like that exclamation point, saying like, hey, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna beat you, and I'm gonna win the championship, and then I'm gonna be the top guy at WWE again. Much like Tiger Woods, his career fell into the dumper after his big divorce and his affairs and everything like that. And after he won a tournament, he finally reclaimed the number one golfer spot. If anybody pays attention to golf, I don't pay attention to golf at all, but I heard about it on PTI, and when I heard that story, I was honestly thinking about John Cena and waiting to use that reference in a video talking about their big match. From there, we went to just basically Randy Orton, the Big Show, and the Sheamus, showing off of their skills inside the ring, showing that they worked well together. Everybody's really, really looking forward to some sort of a turn. The Shield came down and delivered a promo to them after the match, basically saying that they weren't proving anything to anyone, that they weren't really working together, and at WrestleMania they would break them apart. Which honestly is what everybody is thinking that it's going to happen, whether if it's Orton and Big Show turn on Sheamus, or if just Orton turns on the both of them. Something's going to happen in this match because something has to. But basically, the Shield is going to win, is my honest opinion. I don't see anything else coming of this. Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter promo that was in front of the White House in Washington, D.C. Uh, Coming from a Swagger fan, but even if I wasn't, I thought that was a very, very good promo. Swagger spoke more than any of the other promos he had done, and Zeb pretty much shut his mouth, which is what a lot of people were saying was Zeb was doing all the talking, while Swagger was just sort of standing there saying "We the people" at the end. But I thought it was a really, really good promo and delivered. Match of the night: Daniel Bryan versus Dolph Ziggler. This was all basically to build up to their big tag team match. Honestly, from watching this and the destruction that came at the end, I think Team Hell No is going to keep the titles. I think that when they finally do lose the titles, it's going to be more of a breakup angle between them. I don't think they're ready to do that. Plus, you have to deal with the whole Money in the Bank situation with Dolph Ziggler, and I think it's going to get a little sticky if he's the tag champion at the time, because you don't want somebody cashing in to become to become the world heavyweight champion the same time that they're holding the tag team titles. It just could look a little weird, and that's my opinion. I don't know. A lot of people are really thinking that they're proud of Daniel Bryan to get on the show, but this is honestly one match that I really don't care about. If it was bumped to the tag match, or I'm sorry, to the pre-show, it really, really wouldn't bother me at all. Honestly, when I watch Big E in the ring or ringside, I don't know why, but I swear to God, his junk is staring at me all the time. When I look at it, it's like looking at me in the face, and it makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. After that, Shawn Michaels showed up, called himself Mr. WrestleMania, which I thought was pretty funny, seeing how he wasn't doing anything at WrestleMania other than collecting a paycheck from the Dave & Buster's signing of a lifetime with Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. But it looks now like WWE will be picking up the tab on his flight there, because now he will be in the corner of Triple H to go up against Brock Lesnar, sort of like he wasn't able to fulfill his duties at SummerSlam this year. The one thing that I really wanted to see was Brock Lesnar come out and break his arm after he said that, because I don't really think Shawn Michaels adds anything to this match. Brock Lesnar did come down, but he did not get involved inside the ring at all. It was just sort of a stare down to end the segment. After that, I really wanted to see Lesnar, the Hunter, hunting the other Hunter, Shawn Michaels, throughout the back of the show, much like they did on Raw before SummerSlam as well. I did not get that. So basically, this was just it. They just got the one segment, and it was over and done with. From there, we went to a match between Wade Barrett against Zack Ryder, which I thought was a very good match. During this match, they announced that The Miz and Wade Barrett was going to be the pre-show match. Okay, I'm a big fan of The Miz. I think he's a good dude. I think he's going to be around for a good long time. I think that WWE is putting him in a situation that he could become a big star in the future once they sort of move away from, bigger, taller guys, and they're left with guys like Daniel Bryan and The Miz that are just sort of that average size heights. I think that Vince and WWE will always be looking for that next big monster or 7-footer like the Undertaker or Diesel or something like that. But I think they're starting to go in the way of guys who can work and not really caring about their size anymore like they used to. But The Miz being on the pre-show with Wade Barrett, I think, is some sort of a it's not good in my opinion. I think that they should be showing off these guys in a better way. If they're gonna do a pre-show match, it should be like a feud like Cesaro versus Kofi, which they don't have anything for either one of these guys. Both guys deserve a match. I'm not the hugest Kofi fan, but I think he does deserve to be on WrestleMania. He's been on every Raw, every SmackDown. I'm pretty sure he's been on every pay-per-view this year. And for him just not to have a spot, it reminds me of Rob Van Dam on that first ECW pay-per-view when he just sort of got left off the show, even though he was the whole effing show for ECW at the time. He was able to fill in when Chris Candido got hurt to go up against Lance Storm, but, I don't see anybody getting hurt for Kofi to fill in. Wade Barrett's going to be a huge star. He should have been a huge star in 2010. Him having the Intercontinental title when he first won it on this title reign, I sort of didn't want it because I wanted him to be, moved up into that main event slot, but there really isn't a main event slot right now. So him having that title for a little while sort of warmed me up to it, to the point that, I think Wade Barrett still is on the rise, even though he should have already been there. We had the skit in the back with Santino, Mr. Brad Maddox, and Vicky Guerrero with the April Fool's joke. They fooled him back by saying he had to go to the ring. I honestly wanted to see Santino go to the ring and just see CM Punk destroy him. One of my Twitter followers did call out the fact that it was going to be Mark Henry. I thought they were brilliant. I believe his name was Jacob. And good job by that. When they were showing the Mark Henry versus Ryback stuff from SmackDown, I watched SmackDown on fast forward right before I watched Monday Night Raw tonight, just so I would not be behind on the times. I only watched a few segments and a few matches, maybe about 30 minutes tops. But the one thing I did watch was the weightlifting challenge, because I wanted to see how they pulled it off. In 2010, Daniel Bryan, a member of the Nexus, got fired for choking Justin Roberts, the ring announcer, with his tie. On Friday, on SmackDown, which was last week on Tuesday, we find on Fridays, Mark Henry pressed a bench press bar with 255 pounds down on Ryback's neck, choking him. Daniel Bryan choked somebody with a tie. Mark Henry choked somebody with a weight bar with 255 pounds behind it. And he's going to WrestleMania while Daniel Bryan got fired. I know this is old news, but to me, if they're going to take a hard stance on, what is choking and choking is not allowed, I know this is probably Vince's thing because he's big involved in the guys who lift weights, and he's always been behind these guys getting a push, so on and so forth. If he can lift a lot, it's one of the reasons why he's a big fan of Skip Sheffield, the Ryback, and it's been rumored for a long time that he's going to get a push, and guys like Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, guys that worked out with Triple H. If if you can do things in the weight room as well as you can do things in the bedroom, like Pat Patterson style, you're always going to get a push in WWE. That's how it's always worked, and that's the way it always will work. Um, but I don't know. To me, it just didn't make sense. This feud is been honestly pretty good. I wasn't a big fan of the weightlifting challenge. I thought the other stuff was better. Tonight, when they were throwing Santino around to make sure they didn't hit each other because they're not allowed to touch, I thought it was good. One of my other Twitter followers brought up the fact that I think the next Ryback figure should come out with the Santino accessory to go along with it. That made me pop. That got a retweet of the night. Yeah, good times with this feud. I think this match is going to be horrible, but I had fun along with the feud. We had a match with Zeb Coulter against Alberto Del Rio, which led to Jack Swagger coming out and beating the shit out of Del Rio, which sort of made me a little bit scared with the fact that Swagger getting the last licks on Del Rio. He might not be winning the title, especially after he worked him over with a crutch. But they only brought one referee out to stop the whole thing. Now, you need 4 or 5 refs out there, baby. That's Jack Swagger. You're going to have one ref hold that guy off. The Rock came out next. Rock didn't really say anything to make me want to buy the pay-per-view. Rock didn't really say anything to make me watch him on Monday Night Raw the night after WrestleMania. I don't really know what the hell The Rock was talking about. Something about running for president. I don't know if he's going to steal Hogan's gimmick from 96. No, that wasn't 96. When was that? 90, 98? 99? From WCW? It was bad. I mean, I don't know what the hell was going on. We got no scare down. We got no nothing. No real, pops at each other. Just, I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you from Rock vs. Cena, the main event. To me, they really want you to care. I think there's 3 matches on the card that are really the main event. You got Punk vs. Taker. Nobody's talking about that. You got Brock vs. Triple H. Nobody's talking about that. And then you got this match, Rock vs. Cena. Nobody's talking about it. I don't want this on WrestleMania because honestly, I really, really wish I was there. Really wish I could be a part of it. Really wish I had a seat inside that arena or stadium. Everybody that's going, honestly, you are very, very gifted, and I'm very jealous of you being able to be there. I would give you anything in the world, almost, to be in your spot. But I don't know what the hell they're doing this year. And I don't think anybody cares about any of these matches. I don't know if it's a part of the whole curse of every other year a Mania sucks. But I don't know. Why didn't you have a stare down last week? You let Rock hit Cena with the attitude. Oh, I'm sorry. You let him hit him with a rock bottom this week. You should have had, the payback, the receipt. But maybe that'll happen on SmackDown. I don't know that they taped it before Raw. I didn't read the spoilers, but they're up. I really don't think so. I don't think anybody's gonna care about SmackDown, let alone anybody's gonna watch SmackDown. Even the people that are home from WrestleMania. There's a good chance I'll probably put it on. I know I'm going to the Kings game, so I won't be able to watch it live on Friday, but we'll have to see what happens from there. Chris Jericho versus Cesaro. Cesaro, in my opinion, is one of the guys that really got robbed from WrestleMania match. Loving everything that he does. Great work. He's going to be on the rise. If he's not, the rookie of the year, well, I guess he can't be because he's been around almost the whole year, but he's going to be the guy to watch next year. I can guarantee you that. There's probably not a person out here that's watching this video or was following Twitter that when Fandango put the card of 4 up to judge Chris Jericho for 4 out of 10, that didn't mark out a little bit thinking about Bret Hart for the night. But this match, Jericho won with the walls. But it was good. I was distracted by Fandango the whole time. I don't want to say it was a bad match, but I think if you picked Fandango up and you left him in the back and you just let these 2 guys wrestle, it would have been a great, great match. Ooh, the shit of the night. Cameron and Naomi against the Bellas. This might set an all-time record for most people turning the channel to anything else in the entire world and not coming back. This was bad. This was horrible. I'm not the biggest fans of divas. I'm not going to stick up for them and say, this is this and this is that. Melina and John Morrison got in a lot of trouble at WrestleMania 27 for basically saying that they shouldn't have given this about the Snooki and Melina should have been on the card. But I'm not going to get fired. I don't work there. But honestly, you have Natalya, who is the best worker in the WWE. Alicia Fox, who's also a damn good worker in the WWE. Why are they not on WrestleMania? Cameron and Naomi, they do go along with the gimmick of the dancing fat guys. They've been with Brodus the whole year, but that was bad. That was horrible. This should honestly be the pre-show match. Uh, there's no way in the world Miz and Barrett should be getting bumped for this. If I was Miz and Barrett, I'd be sitting down with Vince to make sure that he has a plan for me in the upcoming year, because I honestly would feel way disrespected after this. After that, we go down to the Undertaker coming down. He's giving a promo. The walk to the ring was really good, but once he got the mic in his hand, it was time to, set an alarm on the alarm clock, because I felt like I was falling asleep, and I didn't want to, sleep longer than a minute or two, because I didn't want to miss something. Finally, the Druids came out, much like WrestleMania 20, which was met by Paul Bearer coming out to the surprise of everybody, which ended up being Paul Heyman. But by first look, I honestly thought it was CM Punk playing Paul Bearer. I thought it was a rehash of the Jeff Hardy when CM Punk came out on SmackDown and everybody went crazy because Jeff Hardy was supposed to be he left the loser leave town match or whatever they called it on SmackDown after SummerSlam 2009, and people really got behind that, really got into it. It was some good times. But Taker I think he ended up seeing that it was Heyman, and so he started to beat up the Druids because he didn't know who was who, but he grabbed the wrong Druid, and he was attacked behind by CM Punk. CM Punk beat him to the point to where he took the urn, which I thought was going to be the big magic light. I think that was at SummerSlam they did that, but it might have been at WrestleMania. I can't remember which one it was. But anyways, Paul Bearer came out. They cranked out new big old flashlights shining around in the sky. I think everybody fell for that back in the day. But that's what I was really hoping for. But this ended up being really an urn with kitty litter inside. I doubt they used real ashes. But then again, WWE's done some stupid stuff in the time. Paul Bearer's a big wrestling fan, so you never know. He might have said, "Hey, spread my ashes on the ramp on the way to WrestleMania, and that's the way I want to go out." And if somebody says that, that's the way it should be. But then again, you probably have to call a hazmat crew out to clean that shit up. So I don't know. I'm talking 17 minutes on Monday Night Raw. If you are, if you're still watching this, put like in the, I don't know what you should put. Put something in the freaking comment section. Let me know you really watched this. But I had a really good time watching the show. I just don't think it really did anything to increase buys. It just was WrestleMania. Last year's Monday Night Raw before WrestleMania had the same taste in my mouth. When Rock and Cena, they at least were in the ring and looked at each other. This time they weren't even in the back. I mean, if you want to beat somebody bad enough, aren't you at least get in their face or try to do a little level of intimidation or something like that? But maybe they wanted to save all the shock and awe for the dumping of the ashes all over the Undertaker. Undertaker's winning that match. I mean, basically that's just how it's gonna be. But that was Monday Night Raw. They used some word on there also. I wanted to bring that up. I didn't even know what it meant. I know I went to school in Georgia where I got most of my schooling in my life. But WWE, you shouldn't be using big words that I really don't understand. It was Eviscerates, Eviscerates. And just to piss everybody off, I think I'm going to label my video with that just because they always get mad the way I label them. But this is Stevie Breach. Peace out. John Cena, WWE strap. Let's do this.